Are you on a crossroad of making a big decision? Like, what are you going to do for the rest of your life? Do you have a major to pick? Or what kind of career path are you going to go for? Let me tell you a short story about a young man who was just a few weeks away from graduation, and he had exactly the same decision to make. He had one question in mind and he had to answer it. What major am I going to choose? The more he tried to answer that one question, the more he realizes that it's so hard to answer it. I mean, that's a huge decision. Whatever he's gonna pick, he thought he's gonna have to stick to that for the rest of his life. And the voices in his head kept screaming, pick a major now. And the worrying voices around him kept telling him, you didn't pick a major yet? And then it was followed by, don't choose engineering. Doctors make a lot of money. You make a good lawyer. You are really good with people. Maybe try HR. He was feeling lost and he was lacking a sense of direction. And so as he had to make that decision, he chose to do engineering. And for the next 40 years, he lived an average college life. However, just a few weeks before graduation, a few questions, some old thoughts started creeping back into his head, some questions that he had suppressed in the past. The same old question came back. What am I going to do for the rest of my life? Something inside of him was telling him that engineering was a wrong choice. But how could he justify the last 40 years? How is he going to tell his family that he doesn't want to become an engineer anymore? And what if all of these thoughts were just fake callings? He let fear get in his way, and for the next 18 months, he worked as an engineer. But the voices in his head, they only got louder and louder and louder. And it is at that point that he knew he had to do something about it. He started to dabble with different ideas, trying things left and right. And then one day, boom, eureka, I found it. He found the one thing that made him feel like he's on top of the world. He found his purpose. He found that one thing that makes him really happy. At that point, he was ready to make the jump. He was ready to make that leap, and he made it. And he never looked back since. Here I am today, that young man, and I'm asking you, what are you going to do for the rest of your life?